back with another chapter of Geography, Class 7 NCRT. Chapter 1 Environment. In this chapter, we'll read about whatever that you see in the environment, what is environment composed of, and what are the growing threats to environment. Have a look at this picture that says components of environment. It's a very nicely drafted in a map sort of a thing where you can easily understand what are the various components of environment. We have nature, we have human made things, and then we have humans. So in natural category, we have the air, water, land, and all the living things. That is the biosphere. And coming to human made stuff, they are nothing but those buildings, parks, bridges, roads, industries, infrastructure basically, which are created by human. And coming to the human category, that is every individual like us, family, community, religion, education, economic, political situation, all the groups, all the organizations that are there which exist comprising of every individual. So these three categories are very essential forming the components of environment. And if you closely notice that everything is interdependent, everything is dependent on each other, directly or indirectly. So somewhere something gets depleted or misused. That is also the reason which causes a disbalance between the environment. We need to take everything in balance and go ahead. If anything is disturbed or if something is left unseen, things can really go messy. So we are going to read about what are those things that really shuffles the entire environment and causes distress. So let's quickly understand these two definitions. What is biotic and what is abiotic? So biotic is the definition given to the world of living organisms, example plants and animals. We human also come under biotic. And abiotic refers to the world of non-living elements like land. Okay, so that is basically the meaning behind it. Let's get the definition of environment. From the above conversation, you understand that this place, people, things, and nature that surround any living organism is called environment. So living organism means anything that breathes on this planet. It is a combination of natural and human made phenomena. So environment is made by both human as well as natural. So this is the natural part, which are the tree, water, air, land. These are natural, and human made part is the one which we made on top of it, on top of that natural resource. Now we'll read about what is natural environment. In simple terms, land, water, air, plants, and animal comprises the natural environment. But we'll try to understand it in a categorical manner. So remember how we read about different layers of atmosphere from the previous class series. Lithosphere is the solid crust, and then we have hydrosphere, which is the water part, and atmosphere, which is the air that we breathe and other gases that exist, and biosphere is the combination of everything. Everything in the sense wherein you have a little bit of atmosphere, a little bit of water, a little bit of earth, and then a little bit of human life, everything. So if you look at this picture, it easily describes what is the meaning of environment. And if you don't understand this, I will make it even more simpler. Have a look at this picture. Imagine these four circles to the right as different components of environment. And then imagine the environment in a whole different circle. And now try to see all those four circles and try to imagine all those four circles into a big circle. And the big circle is nothing but environment. So this is the entire definition of environment. So environment consists of everything: lithosphere, hydrosphere, biosphere, and atmosphere. Let's put a little more emphasis on the term biosphere. Plant and animal kingdom together make biosphere or the living world. It is a nano zone of the earth where land, water, and air interact with each other to support life. I'm sure there will be a question based on this because I've faced this question in many exams. So remember this very clearly. Plant and animal kingdom together make biosphere. Land, water, and air interact with each other to support life. That phase, that point where these three interact is called biosphere. Now let's try to understand what is the meaning of ecosystem. All plants and animal and human beings depend on their immediate surrounding. That is true, right? We are dependent on food, shelter, and other stuff. Similarly, animals are dependent on food and other stuff. We are dependent on our surrounding. We need things from our surrounding in order to survive. Often they are also interdependent on each other. Again, food. Food is the crucial thing which makes us interdependent. This relation between the living organism as well as the relation between the organisms and their surrounding form an ecosystem. I'll give you a very brief example. In this picture, you can see how the organisms are dependent on each other for food. So, this is what is an ecosystem. So, everything has an ecosystem. It can be of rainforest, grassland, desert, mountain, lake, river, how river flows from mountain and goes into the ocean, and then through the cycle of evaporation, again it falls back and comes back as a river. So this is the entire meaning of ecosystem, how it exists. Now we'll read about human environment. We interact with environment on day-to-day basis, and we also modify it according to our needs. And as we are heading towards modernization, our needs grow. So when our needs grow, we go ahead and make things to fulfill our needs. This is nothing but we go ahead and learn to grow crops. Then we make a system wherein transaction happens. For example, how things get sold in the market. You buy a particular thing as per the need and as per demand, and then supply is made to meet that demand. And where does the supply comes from? It comes from nature, and the demand comes from human. So you can see easy correlation between the two. For example, we need place to stay, so we make buildings. To make buildings, we need raw material. For raw material, we go to nature. We excavate rocks. We cut down trees for wood. We dig down to get water. And that's how we create an environment that helps us in leading a good life. With this, we have come to an end of the first chapter. Let us answer some questions. First question, what is an ecosystem? So, ecosystem is nothing but an environment wherein organisms are dependent on each other. Second question, what do you mean by natural environment? Natural environment are those which have been created by its own. There is no involvement of human whatsoever, like landmass, river, ocean, mountains, etc. Third question, which are the major components of the environment? So the major components of environment are human natural resources and then human made resources. Fourth question, give four examples of human made environment. Anything that you see around you made by human. Road, building, garden, park, anything. Fifth question, what is lithosphere? Lithosphere is the solid crust part of the earth, the upper layer of the earth where you see the rock bed and on which walk. Sixth question, which are the two major components of biotic environment? The two major components of biotic environment are, let me tell you what is biotic environment. Biotic environment is nothing but where all the living organisms exist, including human. So the two components are human-made resources as well as natural-made resources. Seventh question, what is biosphere? Again, very important question. Biosphere is that point where air, water and land interacts with each other. Part 2, pick the correct answer, which is not a natural ecosystem. So, desert and forest is, of course, a natural ecosystem. The answer is aquarium, which is not a component of human environment. Land, because land is a component of natural environment, which is a human-made environment. Road, which is a threat to environment. Growing population, yeah, because if this second option grows, the first and third is going to be finished. Over. Match the following. Biosphere, narrow zone where land, water and air interacts. So what is biosphere? A narrow zone where land, water and air interact. Atmosphere, blanket of air which surrounds the earth. Hydrosphere, domain of water. Environment, relation between the organism and their surrounding. With this, we have come to an end of the first chapter. If you like the video, consider giving it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. And make sure you are subscribed to get an alert when my next video comes, or if